This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi Saket.
Yeah. Hi guys. Good morning. I'm Saket, RPA project lead and trainer for Asha 24. So I do give trainings in Blue Prism and Uipath. Okay. So before we go into the details or the basic idea of Uipath, we will start with RPA, a higher level view. What actually the RPA is. Okay. So then we'll go slowly into the introduction of UiPath, and we can continue what else. So like the UiPath in detail learning for the next 22 sessions. Okay. So yeah, before that, not technical. So anyhow, we will be having a few technical questions if you want later. Later we discuss about RPA and UiPath. But before starting, do you have any questions in general? Okay, fine. So I will start with RPA. Okay. So basically RPA, robotic process automation. Okay. So here we can see some. Could everyone mute yourself? If you have any doubt, you can definitely unmute and ask me. But otherwise, please mute. Okay. So here we are able to see something called robotic process automation. This is not something which is developed by itself. Okay, robotic process automation is just like a framework. In this framework, so not even a framework actually, so it is some name which is given to a group of tools. Okay, so robotic process automation is something like a name which is given to the group of tools which will automate the processes. Okay, which will automate the processes. What kind of processes, what are these processes, and all we will see. But it will, those tools will automate the processes. Okay, how do we automate? That is what we are going to learn with one particular tool. Okay, so how to automate with one particular tool, that is what we are going to learn. Then coming to robotic. So why this robotic is something given the name here is, so because this automation, because this process automation is done instead of a human being. Okay, by replacing a human being, our computer program, okay, or our automation solution which we have given by UiPath, Blue Prism, or whatever the RPA tool. Okay, it will replace the employee in a company, or it will replace a human being effort. So that is the reason it is given robotic. Okay, so otherwise nothing to do with that. Okay, so otherwise it is nothing to do with robots, what actually we hear about it. Okay, so then we will go into deeper. So here, why robotic? Because the solution which we give, the automation solution which we give by using any of the RPA tool, what it will do, it will mimic a human user as a human does. So let's say, for example, if you want to log in into Gmail, okay, what we do generally, okay, so we have to open the browser and we have to open any Chrome or Firefox or whatever the browser which is installed. So we have to click on that. Okay, so then the browser will open. After that, we have to give the URL of Gmail. Okay, so then the Gmail will open. We have to give the username, password, click on the login button or sign in button. Then it will lead to the Gmail inbox. Then we will read the emails which are there in the Gmail. So if I want to automate this, I can do with RPA. Okay, so if I want to automate this, you are, as as we are working, or maybe as we are dealing with Gmail, like seeing the inbox emails which we get in the Gmail. So maybe we will do 2 times or 3 times or 4 times max in a day. like whatever the emails which we got to read, we will open, or we may access from our mobile, or we may access from our laptop. So by and large, we may do for 3 to 4 times or 5 times in a day. But if it is a job of someone, or not to read the emails and reply to that, maybe it is a customer care center, and an employee's work is to keep that email account logged in, and whenever he gets, or he or she gets an email, she has to reply to that. Okay, if that is the process, let's say that is a process, how to automate that? So that is what RPA will do. So instead of an executive, a customer care executive replying to the emails, okay, replying to the emails, whatever the queries the customers has sent, if I am replacing that human being with a automation solution, nothing but a robot. Okay, so what it will do then, if I give the automation solution, it will start mimicking the human user as a human does. So as how an executive will reply to that particular customer query, our robot will do the same thing. So that is the reason it is said that robotic here in RPA is nothing but a human. Instead of human, a robot will do the tasks, and it will mimic as is a human will do. Okay, so on which it can be applied? On processes. So what is this process? A sequence of meaningful activities that create a process. So Gmail has some sequence of activities, right? We have to give the first we have to give the URL, username, password, then sign in. Okay, so if any of this sequence, any of the step is, you know, not followed properly, okay, I cannot give username and password without logging, without giving the URL, right? I cannot, it will not, I cannot sign into the Gmail without giving username and password. Okay, if I just click on sign in button or login button without giving username and password, it will not lead to me to my inbox, right? So it is a sequence. So we have to follow that sequence of steps. Then only it will. So such kind of processes, such kind of activities are called processes. A processes may involve multiple systems and applications. So in real time, Gmail is a one small application, but in real time, when we go giving automation solution in our offices, okay, so there may be a complex activities or complex processes where we have to give the automation solution. So in that, as a part of that, there may be multiple systems. That means it could be servers. So one could be database server, application, and one could be some virtual system which is giving the application access. So in this way, there will be multiple systems and different kinds of applications. When it comes to applications, few may be Windows applications, we may be web applications, we may be mainframe applications. Okay, so we have to deal with all kind of those applications. Okay, so in this process, we have to access all these things, and this is called a process. And then coming to automation, sequence of configured steps which are performed without any human intervention. So finally, what is automation? Automation is something which is not basically not manual. Okay, everything has to be done by a single click. That is called automation. Okay, so everything has to be done by just a single click. That is called automation. So how it is possible? How it is possible? By giving an automation solution. How automation solution is possible? By configuring steps, by configuring the sequence of steps. So who will configure this? Who will configure? An RPA developer will configure. Okay, so this automation can be achieved by configuring. And who will configure? An RPA developer will configure. Fine, so this is what we are going to see, how to configure. That is how to develop the processes, how to develop the bots for few business processes and make them automated. And finally, once we have given the automation solution, there should not be any human intervention. There should not be any human intervention, either to give username, either to give password, either to give click button. Okay, everything should be done by a bot, and there is no human being required to do any task for that particular act. Okay, so that is called automation. So but here one thing which I want to make you clear is, when I say robot, it is not something, a robot which we, which we hear or which we see, okay, in general. Okay, so not the robot which we are speaking about, the physical robot which can perform some physical actions in manufacturing industries or in the hardware industries. Okay, so RPA, when it says robotic process automation, it is nothing to do with physical robots. Then what actually our robot is? Our robot is just like a software program, a piece of code. Okay, so we already have some programs like, if I install MS Office in my laptop, it is a piece of program. If I install some app in my mobile, it is a piece of software program. So just like that, even my automation, RPA automation solution is just like that application. It is also a software program. Okay, which I can install, uninstall, use at whatever the point of time I want it to be. Okay, where it is mostly applicable in IT and BPO sector. Okay, when I say IT and BPO, across the, in IT, across the platforms. Okay, across the domains. In BPO, across the domains and across the platforms. Okay, any processes which are involved in IT and BPO. So it doesn't mean that IT is, when I say IT, it is not only for development. There could be, in IT, there could be finance processes, there could be banking processes, anything. Okay, whatever the processes are there where manual intervention was there can be automated. So that is the intention. Fine. Yeah, any doubts guys so far?
Second, I have a question. So chatbots are also example of RPA?
Yes, chatbots are also example of RPA. So what it is like, in the background, it has to be developed, and it has to be
Yeah.
given some questions, like what are the possible questions a customer can ask. Okay, so for
Yeah.
example, if there is any some education site, okay, what is the cost of this particular course, what is the duration of this particular course, uh, like what are the different courses which you are doing offline and online. So there are some particular questions, right? So all those questions will be configured by some developer, let's say RPA developer. And once this kind of question is given to the chat bot, it will reply accordingly. So it is also one of the robotic process automation.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right. So a small comparison between human and software robots. So basically, how human beings will work and how our software robots will work. So let's say there is one task which has been given to three of the employees in a company. Okay, and this task involves working with three different applications. Okay, this task involves working with three different applications. So one employee cannot work on three different applications at a time. Okay, it definitely needs three employees, right? So each employee will work on each system and each application, and he will do his part of the job. Okay, similarly the other two employees, and after doing their part of job, they will integrate that, they will integrate all their work and give the final output. Okay, all these three employees will work and integrate their work and give the final output. So let's say these three employees will take 8 hours. Okay, that is one day of their time to do this task. So once if I given the automation solution, okay, so instead of human beings, instead of these employees, what I can do is I can deploy my software robot. I can deploy my software robot. And because similarly, as one employee cannot work on three different applications, okay, that is one employee can at a time can work on one application. So here also what I will do, because there are three applications, what I will do, I will create instances of the robots. It is only one robot. It is unlike three different employees. This robot is only one robot. But what I will do, I will create instances of that robot. That is duplicates of that robot. So the original will be one, and I will deploy this on three different systems. And what it will do, this will each instance of the robot will work as different robot. Okay, for this application, it will be a separate robot, and this for this application 3, this will be separate robot. So altogether on these 3 applications, 3 instances of the bot will be doing their job and give the final output. And when it compared to the employees which they have worked for giving the automation solution, so instead of 8 hours working, 3 employees worked for 8 hours. Okay, that is 3 into 8. The work for to do this task is 3 into 8 hours. Same thing by software robots, maybe it can give 3 into 1 hour. Okay, 3 into 1 hour. So that means on each application, if it is spending or doing 1 hour, so that means totally I can finish this job by software robots in 3 hours. In 3 years. So see what is the impact of the time in order to do that particular task, and that is one point. The second point is infrastructure. So for 3 employees, I need to provide 3 different systems, okay, and 3 different desks, 3 different chairs, okay. So infrastructure. So here, if these software robots are virtual, okay, if these software robots are virtual, only one system is enough. Okay, so it may work on one system on 3 different virtual machines. Okay, and there is no infrastructure needed. That is second one. Accuracy. In when employees are working, they are human beings. Okay, there is always at some point of time there is always a chance of getting some mistake by human being. Okay, but once the instructions are given by software robot, there is no chance of deviating from that instructions. So there is no chance of any mistakes done. So that is one point. Okay, so there are, in this way, there are many aspects or many impacts on applying the software robots on our processes. Okay, we will see in detail. Okay, so this is the main difference. Fine. So how the automation has been progressing from from the beginning of the software industry. Okay, so initially how it was when we have the computer systems at initial stages. Okay, for everything, for every task, every small task, a human being is required. Okay, to operate on a computer system. For every small task, there is completely everything is manual. Even though we have computer systems, okay, for it to do any task, an employee was required. But then after that, we have come up with few scripting languages. Okay, with the help of these scripting languages, we are able to write some scripts and automate up to some extent. Okay, if there is any manual process, by writing the script, we started automating few of the things. Let's say, for example, we are doing one project and there is some repetitive tasks in that project, like for example sending an email every day, or importing the data from shared folder. Okay, so there are something. Okay, or maybe I have to run some script every day or maybe for every 1 hour or 3 hours. Such kind of things I can automate. Please mute everyone. Okay, so such kind of activities can be automated by writing script. But for this, even this automation is maybe some 5 to 10%. The extent of this automation is 5 to 10% in a project, and even that includes scripting language knowledge. You should be an expert of scripting language, and that script has to be tested, and it has to undergo the production, and it has to be tested how it is being working on a real-time scenario, whether it is able to whether it is able to give the solution according to the requirements or not. Okay, so there is again for that particular task, it has to undergo all the SDLC. Okay, but then what is the result? 5 to 10% of the automation. Okay, but after that, something called RPA has come up. So what is the major difference between the above scripting methodology of automation is RPA. If the business process is repetitive in nature, if the business process is repetitive in nature, and if the business process does not include too much of human intervention decision making. Okay, if the business process does not include too much of decision making by human beings. Okay, and if the business process is instruction based or process based, then RPA can give end-to-end solution for that. Okay, unlike scripting automation, how it is giving 5 to 10%, but RPA can give end-to-end solution, that is 100% solution for that business process by applying any of the tool which is suitable for that particular process. Okay, so this is the major difference. So it can develop the process, we can test it, we can run that, and we can give the end-to-end automation solution for that. Okay, so that is the development as of now, and in future, even now it is also been applying. So in RPA, we will be going to apply AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Okay, and cognitive intelligence is also been applied in RPA. Okay, slowly we will be going to do that. Okay, but of course not in our sessions, but in general I'm speaking about the RPA industry. Okay, so for all that, we need to be an expert of at least 1 or 2 tools in the RPA. Then gradually we can develop our career in that way. Fine. So these are the high level benefits of RPA, guys. So these are not exhaustive list of benefits. Okay, I have listed few of them. Okay, increasing efficiency, 100% accuracy, 24/7 productivity. So robots are always there, 24/7, available 24/7. And it is 100% accurate, as we have already discussed. So definitely efficiency will increase. So when all these three are there, improves the customer experience automatically. So it is customer experience will, when it will increase, when all the above will be given. Right. Enhance visibility. So like, what is the methodology to give the automation solution is very clear. Okay, so if a human being is working on some particular task, every human being has his own own methods or own style of working on that particular task. But if I give the same task to robot, everything, what is the method, what are the instructions it has followed, and what is the output, everything is visible. So it will enhance the visibility of a particular task, how it is being done. Improve time to market. Okay, so when efficiency has increased and the number of tasks it is doing is very high when compared to the human intervention, so it will definitely improve the time to market. Okay, so it will go into the, so if there is any product or if there is any process, okay, so it will improve the time into the market. It will just go into the market and start giving its services by any company. Complying with industry regulations, so we can just configure the regulations, rules and regulations of that particular company processes. Okay, and then it will follow. Digital transformation program. So in order to give the RPA solution, the processes has to be digitalized. Okay, but if at least if the process is not digitalized, in order to give the automation solution, it has to be digitalized and given an RPA solution. So at least now the processes which are not digitalized, there is a chance of getting digitalized. Reduce costs. So automatically there is a reduction of cost at infrastructure level, at bandwidth level, and a number of employees required, and the time taken for each task or each unit of that task has to be done. Everything. So all includes reduction of the cost. Speed up process time. Okay. So we are speeding the every process is getting speed up. Okay, so what we were doing for 8 hours, now we are able to do it in 3 hours, right? Boost scalability, this is one of the important thing. Okay, so as a human being, we may get exhausted after doing some work like 8 hours or 9 hours, right? Or maybe some amount of work, right? So but robot is irrespective of that. Okay, unlike the human being getting exhausted, there is no such chance with the robot. Okay, whatever the tasks, whatever the burden, or whatever the number of amount of things to be done by robot, it will not get exhausted at any point of time. It will give the same amount of output or same performance, okay, throughout the execution of that particular robot. Optimization of resources. So all the resources, human resources, okay, software resources, hardware resources, and monetary resources, everything can be optimized by using RPA solution. Right? So these are the high level benefits, not exhaustive. Yeah, any doubts in this?
As of now, no doubts, sir.
Okay, so let's go to the next slide.
Saket, one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So when we develop robot, business process, so each robot need a dedicated machine, or we can share each two business process.
We can. So I said instances, right? So these instances could be on single machine.
Okay.
Okay, we can share the resources.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so what are the how the market is with RPA, and what are the industries which are using RPA? Okay, what are the domains and what are the platforms which are using RPA? This is the small list. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. This is the major industries which are using RPA. Okay, and this list is day by day increasing. Not only these big industries like banking, insurance, and logistics. There are very small, very small industries are also getting and seeing the automation solutions which are given by RPA. Okay, initially it was with big clients like banking, healthcare, insurance, manufacturing, and all. But today I'm able to see RPA solutions request by even some plastic industries who manufacture chairs and tables also. So that is how the RPA solution is getting into the market. Okay, so these are the major even job providers as well. So even this can be used in the shared services in our companies. Okay, so instead of the having 10 to 15 or maybe a team of HRs in the company, so that could be done by, or that could be automated by just maybe one employee in the shared services. Okay, and all the processes, okay, all the repetitive and task based business processes in BPOs can be automated by RPA solutions. Retail and travel, information and service providers, cross industries like finance and accounts and sales operations, very much used in this. Okay, healthcare, it is giving a lot of automation solutions in the healthcare. Okay, so in healthcare, up to the level of giving the appointment of a doctor is also being automated by RPA. Okay, so a patient can get uh, an automated appointment by a doctor. Okay, so in the back end, RPA robot will run. So up to that extent, RPA has been given. And in insurance, generating the insurance claims, sending the insurance amount which has to be paid by some customer. Okay, even up to that extent in insurance, RPA has been implemented. Okay, in banking, we may not say banking. Every banking is a lot of back office processes. Okay, applying credit cards, getting the approval, paying the balances, okay, opening new accounts, okay, getting the loans, approval of loans, paying of the loans. So all are back office processes. So there are many things which has to be done in banking, and banking is the first one to use this RPA. Okay, so these are the platforms, and there are many other which are at a low level which are using an RPA. And one thing which I am observing from past few months is, initially it was with big companies, okay, level 5 companies or banks or product based companies, but now the RPA solutions or the RPA developers requirement has been extended to the smaller companies as well. Okay, so that is a good sign. It improves It improves the RPA application, it improves the industry, and it generates the employment as well. Yeah. What are the different kinds of applications uh, we can basically apply RPA? So I can apply my RPA or my RPA solution on HTML, or I can access. So you can say apply on these applications, or we can use these applications while giving the automation solution. Okay, or maybe I can access all these kinds of applications for giving the automation solution. So robots can manipulate that with all types of applications and interfaces through the presentation layer. Okay, so let's say for example Uipath. Through Uipath, I can automate Windows applications, mainframe applications, Citrix applications, Java applications, HTML applications, and get the data from Excel, get the data from Word, PDF, and automate sending and receiving the emails. All these is possible. Okay, again this is not an end-to-end list. There could be many other applications, different tools available. Okay, so all the tools which are available, all the RPA tools which are available may not be suitable for everyone. Okay, and all the RPA tools are not very much poor to give the automation solution. There are only few tools which are vibrant and which are robust in their nature for giving automation solutions. So those are like UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, okay, OpenSpan. Only to give the top, only there are 3 4. Okay, so if we know at least two of them, Blue Prism and UiPath, or Blue Prism Automation Anywhere, something like at least two, we can learn any other tools easily, and by ourselves also we can learn. Okay, so but at least go for two tools. Okay, then that will be easy for you. What's the future of RPA? So it is expected that there will be a requirement of 5 to 7 trillion uh, budget on that, and 140 million FTEs are required by 2025. But then this 140 million FTEs by 2025 was calculated sometime before. Okay, I have to change this slide actually. So but then, so if I consider 140 million, it is not now, it is not by 2025, it is much lesser than that. That could be by 2022 itself. Okay, so that is how the number of requirement is growing day by day. So this is the pattern, guys. So this is how the RPA has been started and growing. Yeah, so this is the basic high level introduction of RPA and what actually the RPA is, and our concentration will be on learning the tool. Okay, yeah, before I go and discuss about UiPath, what actually the UiPath and what is the usages and all. Yeah, I want to hear any doubts if you have. Okay, so this is about RPA introduction. Now I want to hear some doubts from you if you have anything.
Saket, in the before slide, you showed all the RPA tools.
Yes.
So any of these tools required like a programming knowledge or something, any particular knowledge of each tool, something, or like all are like just like configuration?
Even I don't know all these tools. I know few only: UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, and some knowledge on bin automation. So I don't know many of the tools here which I am able to show you. I didn't even see any of the tools even once also, other than this. So there are many tools. Okay. So yeah, coming to your question. So each tool is based out of some, each tool is based out of some programming language. Might be they have developed using .NET or Java. Okay. But coming to whether they require the programming knowledge. So if you have the programming knowledge, that is a very big plus to you. But I don't say, or if any RPA tool has been developed, if any of the RPA tool has been developed in a view that a programmer, an RPA developer requires requires a very good knowledge or experience on some particular programming language, that is not an RPA tool basically. Okay, so for using an RPA tool, it is expected a minimum knowledge on the programming language. So that is my answer.
Okay, so what exactly this? I mean, I heard like a Pega using many of the application. What exactly Pega will do?
I don't know about Pega.
Okay, thanks. No.
So we can discuss about Blue Prism and Uipath.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, anything guys? Okay, so as part of this course, okay, so we will be discussing in depth about Uipath. Okay, so technically we will be discussing everything. So like what are the different things and how the processes have to be developed, or how it has to be deployed, how we have to execute, how to create inputs, how to get the output, everything. Okay, apart from that, apart from learning the tool, we will see a sample project. Okay, how to how to understand a project and what is the sequence of the project. Okay, and we will discuss about resume preparation. Okay, based on your experience and based on how you have to showcase your resume according to your background and according to your experience and all. And we will have uh, the interview questions discussions as well. Okay, so what are the possible interview questions? Okay, and when it comes to UiPath, okay, certification is you can just register and do the certification. So there is no it is very easy when it comes to giving the certification with UiPath. So even that we will discuss. Okay, so these are the things which we have to cover after we discuss technical things about UiPath. Okay, so do you want anything else apart from this?
Yes, Saket, it would be great if you can provide us some POCs so that we can practice the same and ask the questions. So we will
POCs
get
we cannot.
overall
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. So definitely. So POCs we cannot do in the sessions. Okay, because doing the POCs in sessions will take long time. Okay, so
Yeah,
we
yeah, you
don't
can
have.
provide us. You can
Yeah.
just tell us like,
Yeah. So I can give the exercises like once we are done. Let's say for example one concept in the tool. Okay, we can discuss some use case, and I can give like I can give something like a practice exercise. So you have to do this one and do that. Okay, so you can practice apart from what we discussed in the session. You can do practice other things, other use cases also. And after that, at the end of our sessions, I can give some a POC idea, like what a basic POC is, and what is the in order to practice all the concepts in the tool. Okay, every day we will be touching each concept or each feature in the tool, right? So in order to get the idea at a holistic view, I will give an idea of the POC definitely. Okay, so that you can so that you can practice and touch all the features and all the concepts in the in UiPath and develop one small POC. I will give you an idea how to develop that.
okay, sure. Thank you.
Yes, okay. This is not, I mean, technical. I mean, just about you. How long you are in this industry, RPA?
RPA, I have been in 4 years.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm a project lead for RPA solutions. Before that, I worked for different technologies like big data and Java. So that's the background.
Thanks, Suvik.
Okay. So in installing anyhow, I think you will get the software. So, okay, you can get the software from Asha 24 Management, or maybe you can go to uipath.com and download. Okay, so that is available. Trial version is available for Uipath. You can use that. Okay, so you just have to give some basic information like name and emails, something like that, and download the software and start using. Okay, so key concepts, like what actually UiPath will have. UiPath have something. This is just a terminology, guys. Okay, if you don't understand also, no problem. I'm just introducing some terminology which is used in UiPath. Okay, don't worried about this terminology, and this is just not even our first session. I'm just giving some idea. Okay, so UiPath consists of some activities, some sequences. Okay, so what these activities and what these sequences is, is something, let's say, a manual process we have discussed, like in order to log into the Gmail. Okay, what we will do, we have to give the URL, we have to click on the button. Okay, or we have to write our email ID and password. So all such activities can be done by using activities and sequences which are available in the UiPath. Okay, so see here, combination of meaningful series of activities make a sequence. So system restart. So what is the process of system restart? What is the process of system restart? What we have to do? So I have to go to this start button. I have to click on this one, and I have to go to all programs, or sorry, start button. I have to go here, click on this button and select some of the option, restart. Okay, so this is a manual process. It involves clicking on this, start button, hovering the mouse and clicking on this button again and selecting some button again here. So it has three steps. So that is nothing but so all these can be done by with the help of activities. Okay, so how do we do that? We will see. Fine. Activities and process. So activities are button click, key press, copy, paste, all these things. So this, with the help of these activities and sequence, we'll start slowly developing the automation solution. Okay, so there are different types of projects. Okay, don't worry about these projects. Okay, so it is just a terminology again which is used in UiPath. So I can start my automation solution by taking a blank project, simple process, agent process improvement, transactional business process. So we'll see one by one. Okay, so ribbon. So what are the different types of options which are available? So these are the different types of options. Okay, I will show you in tool itself. I accidentally closed that. Okay, I think I have to renew. That's fine. Okay, so in tomorrow's session we will see this practically. Okay, so what this ribbon is, but as of now understand that there is something called ribbon. Okay, in that I can record my tasks. I can, scraping is nothing but reading the data, getting the data. So user events, what are the user events? Like now if I am doing some activity, okay, so what I will do on some particular application, I may click, I may read, I may write, all those are user events. Variables, selectors, we'll see all these. Activity pane. Okay, so in this activity pane, UI automation. So UiPath is mainly used for automating the UI, that is user interface of the applications. Okay, user interface of the application. So UiPath, when we discuss about UiPath, it is most suitable for front-end operations. Okay, front-end operations, like for, so it is, having said that, it is not that UiPath has to be used only for UI automation. It could be used for back office processes, it could be used for front office processes, but according to the features which are available in UiPath, it is most suitable for UI automation. Okay, so orchestrator is a manager. Orchestrator is a manager which is available in UiPath. So with the help of this UiPath orchestrator, we can deploy the robots. Okay, we can schedule the robots, we can get the data from different sources. All those things can be done. Okay, properties and control. Okay, so in control, to declare variables, to declare arguments, to import any things which we have already developed, all those things can be done. So I will show you all these things practically, okay, in the tool, in the tool practically from tomorrow. Okay. Any doubts, guys?
No, I'm good. Second.
Hi, Saket. I have one doubt.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So, for suppose if I create one bot, like Gmail activities, log into the Gmail and log out to the Gmail. If I create one bot, so suppose if I share to bot to someone
Okay.
who has not installed Uipath, so they can able to run the bot.
No. So when we say a resource, if you want to run UiPath robot, it is only a resource when it has a UiPath access. So otherwise, it is not a resource. It is not a resource machine. Same
So
with
if the
Blue
other
Prism also.
resource, yeah, go ahead, sir.
So if you want to call a resource a Blue Prism resource, that is a Blue Prism machine, it has to be a Blue Prism installed machine. But otherwise, it cannot communicate. So there is no communication established to run that particular bot. Okay, but then there are few ways. Okay, so just simply to execute or simply to develop a robot, you need not have complete UiPath installation also, but you can do. For example, you may, for example, in Blue Prism, there is something called bot runner. Okay, so you need not install everything as a Blue Prism. You need not have Studio. In the similar way, in the UiPath also, there is something called Studio where we develop the robots. But to execute or run that robots, we need orchestrator. So let's say, for example, we are all together developing some bots, and we want to give these bots to client. Okay, so client need not have Studio. Okay, but developers need Studio to develop. What client needs, at least if he is having orchestrator, that is fine, he can run the bots. So this is what, so if at least he is having orchestrator in UiPath, it is possible for the client to run the bot. Yeah, got your question?
Yeah, got it. So the client configure the developer bot, right, in the orchestrator.
Correct.
Then he can able to execute the same thing what we have
Yes.
developed.
Yes, and again, orchestrator is not something a third party tool. Orchestrator is also part of UiPath.
So Saket, bot runner and orchestrator are same.
No, bot runner is something for Blue Prism. Orchestrator, which is something belongs to UiPath.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, fine. Anyhow, don't worry about Blue Prism because that is not our interest here. So, orchestrator is something, as I said, right? I have shown you, right? Orchestrator here in your this one, manager. Okay, where we can deploy the bots, where we can schedule the bots. Okay, all those things. We'll see all those things. So, studio, orchestrator, everything we'll discuss. No problem.
Hi, Saket. As a developer, we need a knowledge on orchestrator as well.
Yes. Orchestrator is also, if you want to say yourself that I know UiPath, you should even know orchestrator as well.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
So definitely a developer needs knowledge on UiPath. But it is not that 90% of the time you will be working in Studio, UiPath Studio, but only 10% something where you may work on orchestrator. But there may be cases that you don't have orchestrator access at all. for a developer. Some companies, they won't give access for orchestrator to developers. Okay, but even then you need to know at least what actually orchestrator is and how the bots run in orchestrator, at least for knowledge purpose. Even if you work or if you don't work, it is advised to have a knowledge on orchestrator.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay, but when it is coming to programming language, guys, so not only Uipath, so it is, if you have some knowledge, like for example, not you need not be an expert of any programming language. If you at least know what is object oriented programming concepts, only concepts, not programming, or you need not write any program. At least if you know what is object, what is process, what is a variable, okay, what is a data type, this knowledge is enough. Okay, this knowledge is enough. And if you want to still develop yourself and more deeper, you can watch any VB, okay, VB language videos in YouTube. Don't go and start learning by paying fee. Okay, you need not do that. You can just read some VB documents which are available, Visual Basic, okay, Visual Basic VB programming language documents, or watch some YouTube videos. That will help you. Okay, if you can understand how a program is written, and if you can understand once the programming is written, what it is doing, that knowledge is enough. Okay, okay, with that knowledge, with that experience, if any case, in any very very rare cases, if you want to write any small program, you will be able to do that. That's not a challenge. Yeah, anything else, guys? So any of you already know any other RPA tool other than Uipath? Any of you already know?
No, we
No,
don't
sir.
know.
Okay.
Actually, I know about open
So
spam.
is it necessary to have a knowledge of at least two tools? I mean, is it not enough for having a knowledge of one tool only?
It is enough. It is not knowledge. Okay, if you have knowledge on one tool, it is not enough. You should at least be an expert of one tool. That is enough.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so you should be good in one tool, and if you can manage having some knowledge on some other tool, that is a good combination. It is advised to be at least expert of one tool and having knowledge on other tool.
Okay,
Okay,
as
so let's say,
Uipath is free, but Blue Prism is not free, so it's like tough to practice on that. You can get theoretical knowledge, but not the practical knowledge.
see, even for Blue Prism, if you want to learn, the tool will be given by management, so that is not a problem. You can practice. Okay,
Okay.
so Asha 24 have that, so they will give the access. You can practice that. But only thing is, UiPath you can download it from browser, but this has to be given by some license.
Yeah.
So Saket, Uipath is an open source tool or licensed one?
It is licensed. It is also licensed. UiPath is also licensed, but it will give trial version, whereas Blue Prism will not give the trial version also.
Mhm. Okay, okay, perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Any more questions, guys? Anything in general? Okay, in UiPath, in RPA, whatever you can clear your doubts. Whatever the doubt is, maybe it is silly. Don't hesitate to ask. You can ask anything.
Yeah, Saket and Kranti.
Yeah.
So I have completed MBA, so I don't have any technical background. So am I able to train on this Uipath RPA? That means I don't have any technical background, right? So that is the reason I'm asking.
That's not a problem, Kranti. So you can definitely learn and you can become an expert. That's not a problem. But only thing, what is the effort one has to put coming from a non-technical background is you should at least know, as I said, like you should at least know what is this variable, what is this data. Anyhow, we will be discussing in UiPath also. So while we are
Okay.
using that, I will explain what is a data type, what is a variable. I will explain definitely. But then,
Oh,
if you already have some knowledge prior to what we start, then it will increase your confidence in learning.
oh,
Okay. So for that,
oh,
what you can do is, even we start immediately. What you can do is you can just watch maybe videos in YouTube, or you can just get download some 1 or 2 documents, good documents of VB, start learning. And before that, if you want to start with like basically what is object oriented programming. Okay,
okay,
so basically what are the concepts of object oriented programming and what is object, what is process. You can get this knowledge from in any, if you can just Google what is object oriented programming, that knowledge is enough.
okay,
Yeah. So even that is it is not compulsory that you have to learn, then only you will understand. By understanding for understanding, all that is also not necessary. You will definitely
oh,
understand at a UiPath level. But
okay,
I am telling you the background of this UiPath. So any RPA tool is developed on the idea of object oriented programming. So that is the reason I am telling you.
okay. So object-oriented programming is enough, or is anything else?
Yeah, you know the concepts of object oriented programming. Basically, what is
Oh,
object oriented programming? What are the
okay,
concepts of object oriented programming? And
okay,
just get acquainted with the terminology in object oriented programming. Okay,
okay,
just get okay. Once you get the basic idea, then start reading about VB, any document, or watch videos. It is better. Okay, reading will take, reading is much consume, which it will consume more time. Watch
correct.
videos.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
watching
fine.
videos will give, in a faster, less number of time, you can get more knowledge. Okay,
Oh, okay,
so
sure.
start with basic examples of VB. Then you will build the confidence. You will definitely understand.
So may I know
Okay,
what you mean by VB?
Visual Basic Programming Language, VB.
Vision. Okay, sorry. Okay,
Not vision, visual, VISUAL.
okay, visual. Okay,
Yeah, Visual Basic Programming Language. Okay,
oh,
but then you need not worry. Okay, you need not worry. Everything what I have told you, we will be
oh,
discussing in UiPath also. I will tell you what is data type in UiPath also.
okay,
Okay, yeah,
that's fine. That's fine, Saket. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Anything else, guys? So nothing. Shall we close the session?
Saket, yeah, go ahead, Tony.
It's okay. It's okay. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Anyone?
Yeah, Saket. When I saw in the site, like UiPath site, we have two download options. One is enterprise option, and second one is something like that. So, is there any difference in both?
You have to download Community Edition. Enterprise is
So we need.
licensed.
Mhm. So
Okay,
both are
don't worry
having
about
same.
software. Don't worry about software. Okay, you can ask the management also. They may be helping you to give, but otherwise you can download. Okay, software is available. Don't worry about software. You can get from Asha 24 management. Okay,
Mhm.
so don't worry about that.
So there is no difference. Both are same.
Both
Okay.
are same. Both are same. It is just a trial version.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Nothing, guys? Is everything clear?
Yes, Saket, we are good.
Okay, fine. Okay. So see you guys. See you tomorrow. If we're starting immediately, so maybe we'll start the session from tomorrow also.
Okay, thanks, Saket.
Thank you. Tomorrow at
Thank you.
same time, right?
You can confirm. Most probably it will be same time, 7:30 to 8:30. Okay. So definitely you'll get the confirmation from Master Info Management.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
If
you.
you still have any doubts, you can ask. You can remind and you can ask.
Nothing from the side, Saket.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Saket.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.